I've learned more in this amount of time than ever in my life.
10 out of 10 recommend Horizons.
One of the most incredible things I've gained are amazing friends.
So my name is Anna. I just graduated from Whitman College in Washington State. I studied psychology and studio art, so I've never done any sort of computer science before, first time. Horizons was a little bit of a random choice for me, for sure. I graduated and spent so much time doing psychology and art and realized that I didn't necessarily want to continue with that. So I wasn't sure quite where I wanted to go. So Horizons was a fun way to try out something new without making a really big long-term commitment. You know, if I hated it, worst case scenario, it's just a summer. It's a lot more welcoming and warm than I thought it would be. I definitely thought that I would be very out of place, not having a CS background, but it hasn't been too difficult at all. It's pushed me, but it hasn't been unwelcoming in any way. Just talking to the people here, everyone's so helpful. If I have a question, I can ask the instructors or the TAs, or if I'm too intimidated to talk to an instructor directly, just talk to another student, and they're so helpful. Yeah, so every morning we have either a 3-hour lecture or we have some morning videos to go through, and then afternoon is pair programming. So we spend a lot of time just in groups, small groups usually, but then you can also kind of interact with other students, and you're given a set of exercises and you just have to work through them. And I really like that they kind of give you a baseline, a guideline that you're trying to get to, but there's also bonus exercises, so you can kind of go a little further if you want to, or just kind of call it out wherever you want to. Yeah, it's very self-motivated for sure. Honestly, one of the biggest motivators is seeing other students do some of the things. You don't technically have to do the bonuses, or technically have to even finish if you don't want to. But there's this kind of knowledge that A, you'll fall behind, and B, that you won't get as much out of this as you can get out of it. I think the fact that there aren't grades is kind of a little bit more motivating, honestly.
There aren't, or are?
That there aren't grades here, yeah. Because I mean, at school, you kind of do the work, but there's this knowledge that you're doing it to get an A, or to not fail out of a class. Whereas here, you kind of have to ask yourself why you're doing things, and it seems a lot more intrinsically motivated just because you aren't being graded. So it's really helpful, honestly. The TAs are so helpful. You can tell that they genuinely care about helping you, which is really nice. And if they can't figure out your problem, then they'll go get someone else who can help you figure it out. And the people are great. I've made some really good friends here that I'll definitely keep in contact with. People are definitely more motivated here. Maybe it's just the type of program that it attracts motivated people, but it's nice to be around people like that. Just this past weekend, I drove down to LA with a couple Horizons students. That was a lot of fun. I definitely hang out with Horizons kids outside of class more than I thought I would. Honestly, I kind of came into this being well, we're going to spend so much time together during the week that I'm probably not going to want to see any of them outside of it. But that definitely isn't quite what I expected. I end up hanging out with them a lot, which is nice. I'm planning on going to Europe with one in a month, so okay. Yep. Moving forward, I'm definitely going to utilize the network a lot, both in terms of for potential jobs and internship stuff like that, and also just general life advice. I feel very much I can email some of the TAs or instructors and get genuine advice on things outside of that. I'm definitely going to try to use that. San Francisco is really kind of inspirational just because so much of, especially that we're in SOMA, so much of the buildings and people around us are tech people, so it's kind of nice to see that. I see the Twitter headquarters from my bedroom window, it's always there, you know. So I'm in a really big apartment building, probably a few hundred people live there. It's mostly students. It's a lot of students and summer internships, but my floor is mostly Horizons kids, so that's where I see the most. But you also get to interact with other students, which is nice. And not to be as scared as I was, definitely. I think that was a huge thing. I considered not doing this just because I thought that it would be a little bit out of my reach. But honestly, it hasn't been that bad to keep up just because people are so supportive and genuinely try to help you. So I'd say don't be too scared of it. It's really reachable. I definitely struggled with the prep work a bit, but it's been fine here. You know, once you have help, it's fine. Definitely I'm looking more at tech jobs than I was before. Like now I'm thinking of maybe doing like freelance web design, stuff like that. Or like I was kind of considering UX design, and now like I still don't know that much about that, but I'm realizing that I would like to go more in that direction than like the psychology direction. So it's definitely encouraged me to like pivot. Now that I have like some more knowledge about the industry and like more contacts that I could utilize, it's definitely easier. It's nice to know that if you dedicate a lot of time to something, that really like good things can come out of it quickly. Like the fact that we learn so much in such a short amount of time like makes me believe that I can do a lot of other things really fast and like execute them well.
Do you have an anecdote?
I mean, just the fact that like I remember looking at the syllabus before coming here, and like people would ask me what I was going to learn, and I literally couldn't tell them because I didn't know what any of the words on the syllabus meant. And now I can like explain those.